What's up, Skirts Up Squad?
Did you just take my line? It's Samantha.
And Melissa.
I'm going to actually tell you guys how it is right now. It was so fun.
We couldn't even make it up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear it in public.
And she looks at me and she goes, that's what Jesus is for.
We are about normalizing things that are hard to talk about.
So I was like, deer in headlights, skirts out. But keep your panties on.
I think I don't remember. Maybe it's the tree face.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my owl.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's the... There's also a word for that called owl.
No one asked you, Melissa.
What's up, Skirts Up Squad?
It's Samantha.
And Melissa.
And I just rolled with it.
You did roll with it. You had to take a deep breath for a second, but you got this.
Oh, I love it, though. It was well earned. And what you don't know is that secretly in my mind, I was like, Melissa should start this off because it's the yes.
That is so cute.
So you just read my mind.
That's so cute.
And I have some fun facts, which are probably less fun and more fact.
Ooh, I'd be more excited to hear them, I think. What are they?
Okay. Today is our 90th episode.
Awesome. That was really cool. And we were like talking about, like a couple episodes ago, you said we were going to end on the 90th. That's cool.
Yeah. So we hit it. So our nine season is coming to an end on the 90th episode.
Okay.
Our Skirts Up. Oh, I had more fun facts. Shit.
Do we want to remind people why 9 is interesting?
Yeah.
It was because when we were talking with Dr. Sue McCready and she does like numerology and stuff, she was saying that like 9 is like the number of just like creativity and expansion and like nonjudgmental teaching. And it's really interesting because you and I both have 9s when we do our own numerology and stuff. So she's like, you guys together are just like 9s everywhere. And then when you came up and we're like, we're going to end our last episode on 90 and I'm kind of sad because I want it to be 100. I was like, wait a minute though.
That's right. You did reframe it and you're absolutely right. Like what better way? I mean, cool. 99 might have been better.
Okay. Fair. I mean, 69 could be the best, right? No, just kidding.
Obviously, but then that takes away from a lot of work that we've done. So
joking.
Oh, the other fun fact. Did you realize that this season has gone on for 6 months?
I don't think I did. Tell me more about this. I thought we were always doing like 20 episodes in our seasons.
Yeah, well, this one got extended because remember we had pre-recorded a whole bunch. And then we were like, and so some of this was supposed to be for season 5. But then when we decided that there was going to be the shift in the show and that you wanted to focus on other aspects of life, we were like, well, we might as well just tack it on instead of split. So, yeah. And then what I didn't realize is when we were talking about how long ago and like, you know, this guest was and, you know, what season, are we confused? That's when I realized it's been 6 months of this season.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Okay. I did not realize that.
I didn't either until about 10 minutes ago. It's like wild. That's half a year.
Actually, you're right. That is a long time. Because really our seasons aren't usually that long.
No, I feel like they're usually 3 months, right?
Maybe 4, but yeah. Maybe 3. Yeah. I don't know. You're the one that does
not 9. Not 9 months.
Definitely not 9.
9 months makes a baby. I got you.
You did. And we did make a baby.
We did. Called the Skirts Up
show.
Yeah. Skirts Up. Okay. So I feel like it's pretty clear, I think, that this is really our last episode of what we've been doing for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's only appropriate to kind of start doing some reflecting. I know we've done it before, but I feel like this is just a lot different.
It is. It's a lot different for me for sure. And you too, because you've got plans, I hope, and I think, and you hope and you think too.
Exactly. That's exactly what this look was. was.
Oh, okay, so we know that I've decided to like move along and try to focus myself more like internally on myself, maybe my shop and stuff like that, but we didn't know what it held for the show.
Mhm.
So, do you kind of want to say a little bit about that since we kind of just brought it up?
Since you kind of just brought it up to get the attention off of you, sure.
Maybe. That's not what I meant. It was more
Yeah.
like, well, we were talking. Yeah, okay. Everybody
I
heard what happened.
I I see what happened. As Nora says, I know everything.
Oh, yeah. Nora does though.
Okay, so honestly, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot for next season, but what I do know is that season 5 is already in the works.
Yeah.
And what I think will be fun for me to find out and for y'all to find out after that is will it just be me or will it be me and fill in the blank?
Yeah. I'm excited because you had a moment where you were thinking of having like co-hosts that had maybe come on our show in the past and they just host like one episode with you.
Yeah.
You've also kind of thrown around the idea of bringing another person in. So you have some ideas and I cannot wait to see
Which one
what we end
pans
up
out?
doing. Yeah. Which one with hands out, as Sam
Yeah,
said.
yeah. I'm excited too. Yeah. I was gonna say I did tarot cards on it today, but I did not. I did it on something else. So scratch
What
that.
did you do tarot cards on today? Can we find out?
Honestly, I did it because I feel like I'm in this stuck space of what am I doing wrong? I mean, the my RTT practice, I opened it in January. So like obviously you have the time to build up. But I
Very
feel
new.
like I'm doing all the things and I'm everywhere and I'm just doing everything right. But then why is it not working? And so then I tried to do a tarot spread to be like, okay, where am I blocking myself?
Okay.
What is the solution? And what will the result be once I figure it out?
Ooh.
Don't
Do
get
you
too
want to
excited.
share?
I was completely confused.
It
It
can
said
be hard to read for yourself sometimes because you're like
it
in the
must be. It
moment.
made no sense, honestly, because it said the blockage and the problem. It was, what card was it? It was the Queen of Cups. And so basically, that's like a really fulfilling card. Like, basically,
Yeah.
like you're very intuitive, you're very in tuned, you're very like just in the motions and doing everything right, is what that
Right.
card really means to me. And how does that correlate with where the fuck I'm stuck?
Was it reversed?
No, it was
Hmm.
not. And then the like card to like how I'm gonna fix it was the card of strength. And so that makes sense. And then
Maybe it means you're on the right track then. You just have to keep going because things don't happen overnight for businesses, that's for sure.
yeah, you're right. I probably the spread is saying that I'm being impatient because then the what is the result once I get through this is the lover's card.
Yeah, you'd be
So it,
very
yeah, I was
fulfilled.
like, yeah, I was like, these are all very positive cards, and that does not tell me a problem. but but maybe I'm not being as creative as I should be, and maybe that's what the Queen of Cups is maybe trying to say. Maybe I'm holding back creativity and just need to let it flow. But
Yeah, it's interesting because when they like just a quick like AI search, the Queen of Cups, when you're trying to apply it as far as like to a work life, it's interesting because it focuses towards the creative and compassionate roles as like counselors, healers, and coaches.
oh, interesting.
So yeah, it really is interesting to me. It just seems like you just have to do the thing. You just have to keep doing the
Yeah.
thing
Oh,
is
it's
what
so
I'm feel. I don't know. Like once word of mouth, once you start getting some clients under your belt, it really will start rolling in slower and faster, slowly, and then faster and faster.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that. I think there's just like the days where, and I think we talked about this with a lot of our female like entrepreneurs. It's like you hit those days where it's like, what the fuck am I doing and why am I doing it? And then,
Literally.
and I think that's just where I was at today. And I was
That's
in a mood.
fair.
But
Yeah. Because you also are like, dude, I didn't ask for encouragement. I asked you to give me like a solution for the cards,
I
right?
just want to know what the problem is. And I
What do
want,
I do more? Yeah. But maybe
yeah.
you just have to keep going and doing what you are doing, which it's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
That's
Hmm.
pretty funny. It does come a little bit more into perspective, I guess, when
Talking it with somebody, talking it out
yeah, which
with
is what we
me.
talk about. That's why it's so hard for this to be the last
I
one because
know. I love
everything
you.
like just does become into a better perspective when you have someone weekly that you get to run things off with.
Somebody that loves you too, right? Because it's like I know when I
You
can
love
bounce
me?
things off. I love you.
Are you
And
kidding
I
me?
know like I can bounce things off of you. And I know like even if I'm being really harsh on myself, and sometimes you do set me down and be like, well, have you thought about it this way? So like it's just, but you know that it's out of love. And it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it's gonna be hard because I think but that's the community we've built too. So it's around you and it's still there.
Yeah. I think that that's definitely something that I'll miss is having like the one person that's like, I'm going to talk to them every week,
Bye.
at least once, you know? And I think
I
that that's
love
going to
you.
be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're making me, this is the bitter part of it all.
Well, you know, now that we have flipped it onto you, or at least I not so casually did, what has oh, like what do you feel like like what has skirts up
Like meant to me, or I don't know.
what do you
We've
feel like
talked
is like
about
the
that a
biggest
lot.
takeaway?
The biggest takeaway, ooh, interesting. Yeah. These are all questions that we didn't plan, so I'm kind of on the spot here, and that's fine.
Which is kind of the worst. I hate it to
I'm
be.
not good at it. But my biggest takeaway from Skirts Up, I think has to be we listen, we do not judge. And I know like that's like literally that's just a thing that people say, right? And I'm not going to
That
say I
was our
learned
Thanksgiving
it.
episode.
We did. And I'm not going to say like I learned that because of Skirts Up, but I
Right.
feel like it just cemented it to me, like how important it is to hear people out and from different walks of life that have experienced different things and have different beliefs. And there's a little bit of truth in everything, I think, is,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think that you're right. Skirts Up really does embody the listening and don't judge. And we have listened a lot. And
yeah.
I feel like very, very few amount of times have we walked away and been like,
Yeah.
what do we think about this? But most of the
Yeah.
time, it's just like,
Well, there's something we can glean from it.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's been really important to me that way. And I've loved having it's a safe space too.
How has that transferred into like your regular day-to-day life? Like, how do you think that'll
Hmm.
carry on with you?
So I, that's interesting.
It's like I should get paid to do this.
It's like you're about to, and the Queen of Cups is telling me to keep going. Well, okay, you asked how does it transfer my daily life? I guess it's something that I always kind of strived to do anyway. And there's gonna be times in my life that I can look back and be like, oh yeah, I was on it. I was on a roll. And I feel like this is one of those times, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's something but I have to remember to keep working at it, if that makes sense. Because it's so easy to slip back and start judging.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not saying like I'm just sitting on my high horse judging everybody all the time, but sometimes people walk into your life and you're like, huh? And then you're like, oh, take it back. Take it back a step. And let's hear what they have to teach me. And so I guess I just feel like it kind of just cemented even more that like you just never know what somebody has to like bring to the table
Yeah.
until you start talking to them and getting to know them a little. So I feel like just asking questions is the way that it kind of comes into my, and remembering that I have to keep working it. Like it's not just gonna, it's a skill. I think that like a muscle, not a skill, right?
Mm.
And if I don't keep using it, I could lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but for some reason while you were talking, the episode on timidity came to my mind, and I
Oh
have no
yeah.
idea why.
That
I
was last season?
No, that was early this season.
No way.
Dude, I'm telling you.
That might be my favorite one of the year then.
Really, it was like our second episode, I believe, of this season because we released it around the time that school went back into session. And I remember when we were having that conversation with Kara, I was just kind of like shocked and kind of blown away, like between the both of you, because I'm sitting here like, oh, tell me more. How do you like, be honest and not sound like a bitch or whatever?
Yeah.
And then like, but then like, I feel like you haven't had a problem doing that. Like saying what's right, but like in a way that's not like condescending or judgmental.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's why it came to my mind because you're like talking about how part of this has kind of like helped you with not being judgmental and asking questions and stuff, and it just brought it back to
That's
that
so
episode.
nice. I don't feel like it's come natural though, if that makes
No?
sense. No, because it's funny because years ago I was sitting with my friend and she asked me a question and I told her what I thought. And she's like, "Oh, I don't understand you. Sometimes you say things and it's like it's not what I wanted to hear, but you're like I'm like, yeah, but I have to tell you the truth from my perspective, or I'm not like a true, or I don't like, I love you. And that's why I feel like I have to be true to you and myself. And it kind of made me realize, like, yeah, you can be true to yourself and say the truth. Yeah. And there's nice ways to do it. But like, I guess, cause yeah, for a long time, it was just more just about, no, I have to be honest to myself and true to myself, but you can be true to yourself and do it with love. And it's something I just
Yeah.
kind of had to slowly learn how to get better at over the years. And I'm still not perfect, obviously.
I think that's one of the things that we have learned through the show is that learning and growing never stops.
That's so true. And also, it reminds me of what, as we're kind of reflecting on the show and stuff, Sue McCready, she always says, what would love do?
Ah, that's right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can be true to yourself and do it with love, right?
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you still working closely with Sue?
I have been working with her. She's become more, she's coaching me a lot and helping me with growing my business. I say a lot. We were meeting every other week for a minute there. Now we're kind of scaling back to about once a month, but I feel like every time I talk with her, it's it's gold. I don't know. She just enlightens me every time.
She
It
is a ball of brightness. It's like
Yeah,
she gets on the screen or whatever, and then you're just like, oh my God, tell me more.
I know. And one of my favorite things about her is like she gets me talking, right, about the good and the bad, but she always phrases it like what happened good this week. And then she's like, "Okay, well what's something that happened that you want to work on?" And also she helps me turn everything into like rephrasing or things into like a positive light. Um, she's just so good for my emotional state of being. But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good one. One of my I feel like it would be a whole lot easier to like list off ones that maybe weren't my favorite, but
That's
that would be terrible.
hilarious.
Um,
It's always easier, but I think that's why it's like a muscle we have to keep working, right? To be positive and
right. Like, I mean, just I loved so much about all of these episodes this season. One of my favorite people that we haven't talked about in a while was Erin. I love watching her on social media. And I think that one of the things that was a big takeaway from that episode in general, was there necessarily anything educational in that episode? Probably not. But what has stuck with me is that how lucky we are to one be able to like to have had friends always that we can like just share openly with
yeah,
and not realizing how much of a
privilege.
privilege that is. And then it just reminds me every time like we have an episode of like this is what
Yeah,
we're here for. Just air it all out. And I don't know.
exactly.
I love that about her. And she's so funny and she's not afraid to say anything.
Mm-mm. No, she's the one where she told us the story about the bed bugs at the hotel and how she
Uh-huh.
made everyone check their cracks.
Yep. Yep. That was the episode title. Check your cracks.
Yeah. But yeah, because she didn't have what we have. And we've been pretty lucky to, I think also, I don't know. When you grow up, were your parents kind of like big on like choose your friends wisely at all?
I did hear that. And I don't think I feel like they never liked my friends.
Same, actually.
So, which then I feel bad because I feel like we like criticize the kids on their friends sometimes a
Uh-huh.
lot. Like we're really picky with Amelia and
Yeah,
her friends. And
because
so,
you want good habits but anyway, I was just gonna say I feel like I didn't maybe take that into account or like to heart until I was in my 20s. And you kind of like start like you branch out, you go to college and I had a couple experiences where maybe I found out like I can't trust every girl. Like not every girl is gonna like hold my secrets tight and care about me, you know?
yeah.
And so I think then I started being more selective and I have been really lucky to be able to have people that I can really just talk to and just
Yeah,
share things
that's
with.
like one of the wild things about being an adult and going into an adult workplace is I
Hmm.
feel like that was sometimes in some of the environments almost more gossipy and worse than high school.
Yes. Actually, I don't know if I shared this with you ever before, but when I first moved here, um, my now ex-husband was like, "Hey, you got to come meet these people. You're gonna love them." Now, of course, I love you guys. I love you and Simon. There's a couple like Randall and Danielle. Like he's got some great good friends in his life. But there were a couple groups that he introduced me to.
I know what
Did
you're
I
talking
tell
about.
you this?
Yeah.
And I swear we got there in one particular party he is in my mind. And the girls and the guys kind of branched off, and the girls were talking over here, and um, the girls were all just kind of like being silly and having fun. And then a girl would leave the room, and everyone started talking about her, like really mean stuff, and telling me like, "Oh, she blah 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 blah," and I'm like, you don't even know me." And then she'd come back, and another girl would leave, and then they would start talking about her to me, and I'm like, "What is happening? This is not." I did not feel comfortable. I was so shocked because that's not the yeah. And I think that those were a bunch of friends that he did have through partying and restaurant days and stuff.
Yes.
And I think it
I
was
could
that
go
mentality.
forever on like restaurant settings in general. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they don't grow up.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like I think one of the people that you're specifically talking about is still in restaurants and hasn't grown
Really.
up and is like, still stirs up drama here and
It's
there,
drama and it's so
especially
sad.
during, your divorce and stuff like that. And it's like so
Oh.
wild to me.
Yeah, that is really sad. I think I did hear for the grapevine that this one person kind of popped up when she heard we were getting divorced.
Yeah.
But regardless, like, you're right. Like grow up, you're an adult, and you're like, I thought I left that stuff behind. And we just get to choose our friends wisely now.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky because I have you and other good friends, obviously. But yes.
Yeah. That's the best thing that came out of your divorce is me.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think you came out of the divorce.
No, I came from the marriage. That
There
is
you
true.
go. You are our little marriage baby.
And you kept custody of me, and
That's
I
right.
do not object.
Yay, I'm so happy. But yes, definitely good things came. There's a lot of good things for having moved out here. Um, Even though things have been maybe hard in some ways, but yeah. But yeah, podcast, big good thing.
Yeah.
Big good
You
thing.
you have, we talk a lot about like big things for me throughout the podcast and like big changes, but honestly, you've had some ginormous changes too. I mean, we, we started off with, happily married. We
Yeah.
went through and saw you through a divorce. We saw through a new apartment, living on your
Mhm.
own. I mean, with a friend, but living on your
Yeah,
own and getting a new puppy
it's
and
true. It's true. It's been a lot of good things. There's always something good to find, huh?
yeah. And did you know what I forgot to say a couple of episodes ago?
What?
We were recording a few, I think two, maybe the last one or two episodes ago. And I knew, but I forgot. It just didn't cross my mind while we were talking. But it was the year anniversary of Ada dying.
I think you and I talked about it, and
Did
did not
we?
come off in an episode. It didn't come out in an episode though. Yeah,
Yeah. So that was like the worst point of my life.
that was really hard.
And we've seen it through.
We've seen it through. You're here. You have her on your arm right now.
Yeah,
We
she
were
is
just
on.
talking about that tattoo.
Yeah. And I wrote this on Facebook, but I wonder, how much truth there is to things and stuff. But like I wonder, it's almost like Linus has so many characteristics and behaves so much like her, like for me, that like I've toyed with the idea of like, does she spend this year like training his soul to be mine?
Oh,
Like,
that's so sweet.
is
I
that a
actually
thing?
didn't know you were going to go that. I thought you were going to say, is it her come back? I
No.
love what you said. I feel like I think it is a thing. Why couldn't it be?
Anything and everything.
That's the one thing that we never got to do is I really wanted to have an animal communicator on.
Oh, we did not do that, but we did get to have communication
We did. We
with
did. I was
her.
thinking that when you were talking about Ada.
Yeah.
Because when Waverly passed, that was really hard for me too. And that was a few years ago now. It's probably been 4 years. But yeah, we did. We got to have Kelly.
Kelly.
I was like, wait. I just drew a blank for a second. Yeah. And she talked to Waverly. And I actually believe it was Waverly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I one time, so when Ada was alive, and this is before Nora, so I mean this is like 6 years ago. Um, Ada had gotten into this altercation with the neighbor's dog, and I was at
Okay.
work, and
Oh,
so
I remember when this happened.
the situation is just ridiculous. So I worked at an animal hospital at this time that was like 3 minutes from where I lived. And I remember we had closed the clinic. We're all getting in our cars, and this lady like pulls into this, the parking lot sideways. She's like, help me. My dog has been attacked." And so we like all get out of our cars. We go ahead and unlock the doors. We bring her little like tiny black dog in. And the receptionist comes back to tell us like, the what the owner says, what's going on, like what happened or whatever, while we're like assessing this dog. And we are actually laughing because we're like, didn't she say that a shepherd attacked this dog?
Yeah.
And we're like, we are struggling to find puncture wounds. Like there's an abrasion, but
Yeah.
not really a puncture wound. And so we're like, this has got to be the sissiest shepherd ever in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
And then the receptionist comes back again. She goes, Samantha, she says it's your dog. And I was like, there's no way.
Did she know that you worked at that particular place? Is that why?
So what had happened was there was the neighbor that lived behind me, and that was the lady whose dog and my dog got into whatever tiff they got into. And then there was another neighbor down the street who heard her screaming and heard, this big commotion. So she drove down to see what was happening.
Okay.
And so she knew that I worked there and that we lived in the same neighborhood. And so I don't know if through them communicating, that lady put
Okay.
it together, and she quietly, like, she didn't like tell the lady like, oh, it's one of the text dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
She just quietly pulled the receptionist aside and was like, hey,
I think it's
it's Sam's dog. And so then the receptionist calls my husband because I'm sitting here like my hands are in this, like, working on this dog. And I was like, call my husband. And so she calls him and she's like, hey, Simon, just odd question. Do you know where Ada is? And he's like, yeah. I'm looking at her now. And she goes, does she look normal? Like, like normal? And so I was like, well, it's funny that you asked that because she's covered in blood.
That's okay. Yeah. That's where the blood came in.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how we got onto this story, but it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those stories that was always like so wild and hilarious to me. And what's so sad is that, we were talking about animal communicators. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Ada got more injured during this altercation than this little dog did. Ada is like 75 pounds. This dog was literally 15 pounds. And my shepherd walked away with a dislocated shoulder. And I mean, she was like physically.
She's probably doing everything she could not to hurt that little turd of a pup.
Little asshole. I won't even say the name. But so she acted very strange from that day on. Like very, very attached to me, very just weird. And I just remember I was getting so concerned that I was talking to the vet and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, she's not the same. And, and so they got me in touch with this animal communicator.
I don't think you told me this.
No. I think it was the quackest thing that I've ever done.
Okay.
Because I feel like the answer, like the communications and like the answers were like very generic and stuff.
Yeah.
And then and then she was talking about, so obviously I was wanting to talk to Ada. So all I mentioned was Ada, right? And, things, answering questions about her. And then this lady goes on to say, Ada's ready for another dog to join the household. She's lonely and she's ready
No, she's not.
Right.
I know Ada.
But then it's like, okay, you clearly don't realize that there is another dog in the house
already.
And so then I was like, yeah, no, I don't think that's it. We already have another dog. And she goes, oh, well, what's that dog? Now, I will say the only thing that she said that I was like, oh, how would you know that? Was that when she realized that Kaya, our husky, was also another dog in the house, she said, hold on a minute. That dog wants to say that one of her favorite things is when a child is laying with her and reading.
Aww.
And I don't know if that necessarily sounds generic, but around that time, Amelia would always curl up, lay on her, and pretend to read books to Kaya.
That is really
sweet. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting, but not what I asked. And nothing was like, stood any ground with Ada, but.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you can really like you said, you can get some quacks. I think there's probably something to it for someone if they have like that talent, kind of like Kelly. I think she had a talent to be able to be, I forgot all the voyants that she is, clairvoyant, sentient, or whatever. I forgot.
Just all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, do you believe in like ghosts? We've never talked about that.
We haven't. I think I do.
Okay.
I think I do. I don't know what I think about them. I don't know if it's like residual energy. I'm not sure if it's people that can't move on because I don't know what I believe about that, like spirits and souls. I
We
feel
never
like it's
looked into this.
no, we didn't. We have so much that we I feel like it has more to do with like energy, residual energy.
Yeah, I could totally see that. But then how would you describe like when you see like the black figures and like the like faces and stuff like that?
So I have an experience where I did see something once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a black figure, and I just think it was bad energy. That's how I describe it. Bad,
Goosebumps.
bad energy. Yeah.
I think you're right. It does come down to energy because I feel like there's been houses that you just walk into and you know. And
Yes.
I remember this one time I was really young, like right out of high school, and I was working for this cleaning company. And this I was with a lady who was like teaching me how they clean and like the right way to do things. And she said, "Hey, why don't you go start in the basement and I'll be, starting up here or whatever, and we'll meet in the middle." And I was
Okay.
like, okay, she had cleaned this house before and go into the basement and I'm trying to clean, but I mean, I feel like I'm looking over my shoulder every second. I don't feel right. I don't feel safe. I am
Right.
terrified. And eventually I just throw everything and go upstairs and I'm like, I don't know what I can't. Like I can't explain it, but I can't. And then she
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, did you see all the things?" And
What?
I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "All the shrines. They worship Satan." No, I did not see any Satan shrines, but I can sure as hell tell you that
That
something
you
did not
felt
feel
it.
right.
Wow. That's so crazy because that's kind of like a little bit of my story is like we went to a place we probably shouldn't have been because we'd heard it was haunted and it was an
Ah,
abandoned old house. I feel like I saw something. And then later we found out that people would go there and the police were always having to like they would catch people there like trying to do rituals and things. Yeah. And so I
oh,
don't
wow.
know. Yeah. I don't know what I believe like as far as like actual like demons and that kind of stuff because Oliver, get over here. Sorry. He's trying to get into the trash, my dog. But like I do think that I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm not the type of person to say I know this is true or that's true or
Yeah.
this is real or that's real, but I kind of like I've seen some weird shit.
We have teetered on so much about life and afterlife and stuff that it's like, how did we skip over this?
I don't know.
I feel like we skipped something.
It's so interesting. Yeah, because I also feel like it's like lends itself going in towards like different religions and stuff too.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't
Which
know.
I feel like we've touched kind of a good bit on, maybe.
A little bit. Yeah.
More
On
so
some
than I think I
pagan
imagined.
stuff for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is something besides this that got us on this tangent? What is something that you also feel like we missed touching on that you wish we would have?
Oh, interesting.
Learning that you wish we would have.
Maybe actually religions. I think it would have been interesting to like maybe like try going to different churches or different like beliefs and like maybe like mosque or synagogue or something like that and just kind of like learning a little bit and talking to different people that know about them. That would be interesting.
So literally how we started the whole show.
Yes.
Dang, we should have
Actually, yeah,
branched
I
out a
guess
little bit more.
so. You're
Yeah.
right, because that was like what in the very beginning we were like,
We were exploring
what do you
religion and we were
believe?
doing
And
tests.
I forgot about that. We
Yeah.
did. We talked to a Christian
Yeah,
and
we
we
did.
talked to like a universal unit. I don't think that ever got on air though. The one lady, the archival lady that we talked to, but
Oh, yeah, because we ended up doing an experience with her. And then we felt unsure. Not
yeah.
about what we experienced, but I think just about the individual, if I remember correctly. Like something just didn't feel super aligned.
Yeah, I can't recall now. I'll be honest. But you're right. We were kind of going into some of that stuff. And
When we say that we don't feel aligned with someone,
Yeah.
meaning that we don't like particularly jive or vibe with them.
Right.
Do we feel like that is being judgmental?
I knew you were going to ask that. I don't think so. I think it's okay to be like, you know what? I think there's one thing to be open to different beliefs, but then there's another thing when somebody has a different set of morals. Does that
Okay.
make sense? And I feel like the only real time that we haven't aligned with people is because we were kind of like, that's not really cool what they said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like where things weren't like yeah, I know what you mean.
So I feel like that's okay. Maybe, yeah. Not going to say that I'm never judgmental though, because
I
I know
know.
I can be.
I feel like everything I do, it's like, oh, is that being
And we
judgmental?
got to
But it's
think
like,
of, yeah, take a beat. Was that fair what I just thought in my head?
what does that say about me? I actually don't know if you saw it, but I posted a blog on my Sweet Soul Wellness page.
No, I'll have to go
So
look.
I have been, you know, this part that I've been writing about my F&D diagnosis and the journey through that and all the different parts of it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is my last post, but like it feels kind of like conclusive. But I wrote about really like how I was before, like with the extreme judgmental and like insecurities
Oh,
that you don't know that you have. And so, like, just how essentially like awful of a person I sounded and acted. And I literally
oh,
wrote this in my blog.
for people to see.
Yes.
That's so interesting. I'm gonna go read it.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me what you think because that is definitely the most vulnerable thing that I
That's
ever
very
wrote.
vulnerable.
And I was like, you know, and in it, I say that this isn't to like villainize me. Like the whole point is to say that it's okay to be there and then come here and then realize like all the hurt parts that created this.
I am so glad you said that because there's a lot of like divisiveness in the world right now. And I grew up with one set of beliefs, and I was very judgmental and harsh about people who did not believe or think the same way I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I have learned like that you can totally change and like I feel like I changed my morals and my value system. Like that's who I kind of like am fundamentally as a human, right? And
Hmm.
I feel like knowing that I've been able to change like that and then seeing like how you're talking about how like you've really changed a lot of fundamentals about yourself as you've gotten older and grown into yourself. It just gives me hope that people can change. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and we can accept people. And even if they, oh, yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know what I'm saying. Just that, like, if you think you see something in someone that's not, maybe just give them some grace, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what they've been through. And I don't like labeling someone like saying, like, no, they're a bad person because I just don't think that's it. I think we're all full of good and bad and black and white and ups and downs and, you know,
Yeah.
but
The human experience.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Let's see. What is something that you think would be cool to see change with skirts up? Or
Oh,
maybe something you hope never changes.
change. Well, it's going to change because there's gonna be something different without me there, right? And I'm really excited to see what you do with it. I just think that we've created a safe space, a place of love, a place of acceptance, a place of like learning and being able to say, oh, wait, maybe I don't like how I said that. Let me step back and say it again a different way, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that will probably not change. I just can't see it changing. And I love that. But I know that things are going to change, like the like personality is going to change a little.
Yeah.
Because we always are different with different people. I think we different people bring different things out in us is what I guess I'm trying to say. So I can't wait to see in what ways it will change, if that makes sense. Like I'm excited for it. Does that
Okay.
answer your
Yeah.
question?
And you just made me think of what one of the fundamental beginnings of Skirts Up was, and it was led off of curiosity, and that's like what we always
Yes.
said is curiosity, curiosity. And I don't know, I feel like I maybe forgot that along the way. I mean, obviously, I think that's what we've always done is ask
Yeah.
questions and be curious, but I have totally forgotten the purpose was to be curious.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting. What
Yeah.
makes you think say that? Like, give me.
I I feel like I feel like it's been like, what do people want to hear? Let's figure this
Ah,
out. What's a good angle to talk about, as opposed
yeah.
to like,
Let's just be
what's
curious.
right? Like, what what is there to learn here? Like, let's just, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh, interesting. I
yeah,
can see that. I can see that. Where as we were trying to grow and reach more people, you kind of start thinking about that stuff, and it's easy to forget the
yeah.
the
I think that's
fundamentals.
really like when it like really started. Probably is like, okay,
Yeah.
let's figure out what people are really like. And that's like what you're taught. Like when you're doing stuff like this,
Yeah.
it's like, no, I
Know
feel
your
like,
audience.
it doesn't matter what you liked hearing and talking about. What do your audience?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But I think that that was something special that we had too, is we were able to, especially in the beginning, is be curious, and then we were bringing people along with us who were curious too. Does that make sense? Like we attracted that.
Yeah.
I think I also probably forgot some of that too. Because
Yeah.
if we listened to our first season, here's something interesting. I remember how when we came into our second season, and our second season was so much better than our first season, we thought, and we were like, we were embarrassed to tell people about our first season.
Yeah.
I feel like the longer we've been doing this, the more like, and I've gone back and heard some of our first season, I'm like, that was actually kind of fun because it was,
Really?
yeah, because it was vulnerable and we didn't know what we were doing. And I think it's probably had more of what you're talking about, just us being curious. And it was
Hmm.
just, it's interesting. So maybe I would be curious to see if you listened to
Yeah.
a season episode again. Cause I was embarrassed. I'd be like, when I would share
I
the,
know.
I would share it with people. I'd be like, but start in the second season. But it's because we thought I think we had something anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be curious what you would think if you re-listened.
I'll have to do that because yeah, I always like, but where did you listen? Which one did you come to?
Yeah, what episode did you pop in on? Cause yeah.
Yeah. All right. Our best experience together.
Our best experience together. I think it would be Asheville.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Wasn't that great? And going to
Yeah.
the art museum together. That was
Oh
so
my
fun.
gosh. Yeah, I forgot how magical that was.
It
We
really
actually
was.
never ended up releasing any of that, which is really sad because that art studio got ruined in the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. So sad. You're right. I guess it did because it was right downtown.
Yeah. Yeah. That hotel that we stayed in, I know got hit. So you know that the art studio did because they were.
Do you have any of that footage still? I don't know that I do. I think I deleted
Whew.
it.
I'll try and look through because yeah, that'd be a fun little flashback of one of
Yeah.
our. What did you call it? Our Into the Wilds.
Something. Yeah. Because I know you remember we were both wearing dresses and we were walking through the gallery and it just felt so like, I don't know.
Whimsy.
Yes. Yes. Full of whimsy, a life of whimsy. And yeah, that was one of my favorite times with you. We've had so many good times though. I feel like our our live episode at Slow Pour was really neat. I was so scared to do it and we did it.
Oh yeah, that was terrifying, and I still cringe when I think about like how we were so nervous that we like sat there and within 10 minutes decided to script. Do you
Did
remember
we?
that? Yes.
Wait, what? Remind me. Tell
Yeah.
everybody.
So we had like about 10 minutes before we were going on the stage, and we literally sat in a corner and
Oh, in the
scripted.
back of the room. That's right.
Uh-huh.
'Cause we were so nervous.
Yeah. And so we did the script and then we were like, that was
What
terrible.
are
And we
we
were asking
doing?
people, yeah, and they were like, well, it seemed really scripted,
That's
but it was
right.
good. And it's like, yeah, well, it was
Was that at
scripted.
our, didn't we have like a halftime, like a break or
Uh-huh.
something?
Uh-huh.
And then when we came back, we kind of like, didn't we throw it?
We just wung it.
What's it called? Rift it. I don't know.
I don't
No,
know, whatever you want to call it, but we just did
and we did better.
it.
It was
Yeah, it felt like
better.
more natural.
I think we had people laughing and
Yeah. I mean, we might have kind of paid them, but
to laugh. Who did we pay? Oh, because we had drinks for people
we
there.
paid everyone in beer
That's
to be there
hilarious.
and laugh with
Oh,
us.
that's why the second intermission, after intermission, everybody had some drinks in them.
Oh my gosh, shut up. That makes it even worse.
That's
I'm actually
hilarious.
really proud at being on stage with our most recent charity event.
I am
I
proud of you. I feel like I was like in my head the whole time. I didn't love myself that night, but that's okay.
Okay, we all have those moments, but I felt like that was the first time where I wasn't overthinking
You did really good.
going on stage. And so I'm actually impressed with that. And I'm kind of proud of that. And
So good.
one of the things that I actually don't know that I shared on our most popular episode was the one that we had your sisters on and we did our ancestries on, right? And
Yeah.
we talked about all the different aspects. Mine was super boring, but I like my side of
Oh,
it.
your
More.
ancestry.
Yeah.
You're
But
Sicilian.
I am Sicilian, and I don't think that that's a surprise, even though I'm very white. Mine was very boring, but I still get like updates on like, oh, this test is in. See, what this trait says about you
Oh,
or whatever.
neat.
And not too long ago, one of the fun fact traits that came up was that I'm likely scared of public speaking. And I was like,
Oh,
how the fuck does like a little like cheek swab like know that you have a fear of like
that's
how
so
does that work?
interesting.
But then I was like, oh, okay, well that tracks. Here we
It's
are
like,
though.
it's magic, but it works. It's real.
True fact.
Oh my gosh, aren't that makes me even more. Well, I mean, we knew that you had some anxieties around that, right? And so, yeah,
Yeah.
I've been so proud watching you grow with it. But that's so funny because I keep going on Ancestry to see if I have another sibling out there.
I know.
I
Nothing
haven't found
yet.
one yet. Nothing yet.
No. And you guys are waiting to find a brother.
I
Is that
think
what I
it's, we think, I'm not sure actually. I think it's a sister bit, but yeah,
remember?
I don't know. But
Wow.
apparently there's a possibility of one more from the lore, from the stories of my dad, anyway.
From the Virgin Mary?
Yeah. Sure.
Uh, all right. Well, what kind of parting words do we have? Do you have? Do we have?
I mean, I don't know. I guess just thank you. Like, I
Why are
feel like
you
this
thanking
whole,
me?
I wasn't thanking you actually.
Oh.
Our audience.
Well, you looked right at me. God.
I love you so much.
I love you too. All right, guys, she's talking to you.
I could have choked. I'm laughing so hard. No, like I feel like this whole episode with you today has been like our parting words, right? For the
Yeah.
season. But like the only thing I have left to say is just thank you. Yes, you, thank you, Sam. And yeah, everybody who's made this possible. Because it's been only a good experience. And I feel like it's what Sue says. It's what love would do. And I feel like I love it. I'm so happy. I've
Yeah.
been a part of it.
It's been a work of love and
And yes, thank you, Sam. because you have put up with my shenanigans for 2 years.
Probably each other's shenanigans.
It's fair.
I'm kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. I don't know if you've noticed.
We love each other so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for everything that we have been through together.
Me too. And I look forward to seeing what random pop-up you might be a part of
Me
in the
too.
upcoming season, because it's inevitable.
Yay. Give me a call. You know that. We've talked. We
Yeah.
have some ideas, right?
Yeah, and if there's anything that you guys particularly want Melissa to jump back on and talk about, hit us up, let us know, and let's be curious.
Let's be curious. Ooh, I like that. That's better than skirts out.
Why can't it be both?
Skirts up curiously. Wait, that doesn't work.
Okay, Melissa.
What?
Let's be curious together. Skirts up.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's
What are we doing?
doing it together.
Oh, okay. On 3 or after 3?
After? Because I have to say the word 3. And I can't.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's
Skirts
be
up.
curious together. Okay, that worked. I loved it.
And that's a wrap.
Did you like the episode that you heard today? Great. Share it with a friend and don't forget to rate and review.